when your emotional, physical, and relational needs are not being met. Insights from Manifest a Joy-Filled Relationship and our Manifest Method.
So today, let's discuss why can I get what I want and need.
Welcome to Loving Beyond the I Do podcast. This power couple is building stronger marriages one day at a time. Talking about real issues on love, relationships, and marriage longevity. Let's break down the barriers and engage in healthy conversation with your hosts, Jason and Tina Marie. Take a seat and buckle up because things are about to get real.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this magnificent, wonderful Valentine's Day. Happy
Valentine's Day. All right, so welcome to another episode of Loving Beyond the I Do. We are your hosts, Jason and Tina Marie.
That's me.
And we're here to inspire and empower individuals with actionable strategies and insights for developing meaningful and fulfilling relationships using universal principles, effective communication, and mindset shifts.
So we use the Manifest Method framework to help individuals create and develop the type of relationship they want. So what is the Manifest framework? Glad you asked. Using the Manifest framework, mindset, awareness, nurture, intention, focus, empower, strengthen, and transform.
All right, so today let's discuss together, family, the reasons why you struggle to get what you want and need in love, and how to become aware of it.
So before we get into tonight's episode, if you haven't grabbed your book of Manifest a Joy-Filled Relationship yet, what are you waiting for? That's what we want to know. What are you waiting for? So let's get into tonight's conversation right after this. Go to manifestajoyfilledrelationship.com to get your copy.
Start transforming yourself and your relationship today.
All right, guys. All right, you got it. All right, so let's get right into tonight's episode.
Yes, let's do it.
So, one major reason people don't get what they want is because deep down inside, they really don't believe they deserve it or that they can have it.
Okay.
So, we may truly desire it, but subconsciously, you're operating out of the subconscious mind of the past, and then your hurt from the past may determine why you are attracting that same hurt again.
Okay. All right. Might be. Well, your mindset actually shapes your relationship reality. So if you've been hurt, if you've been hurt or you had, your trust has been broken or you've been rejected in the past, you might be subconsciously attracting that same behavior from your partner or attracting new partners to reinforce that deep down hidden belief. So what does that mean? That means that your past experience experiences, right, can create limiting beliefs about love.
That's true.
Right?
So let's talk about that. What does that mean? So your past experiences create limiting beliefs about love. Do you think that that's true? Do you think that your past experiences determine how you feel, how you think, and how you look at love? Now, don't forget, guys, we cannot, I'm going to say it again.
You cannot?
We cannot see your names.
Yep, sure cannot. Unless you shout out to us and say hello. So shout out to us and say hello so we can shout you out. Thank you so much for that.
All right, and then let us hear your comments about what you think about your past experiences creating limited beliefs about love.
Right.
And then also, what about, let's talk also as we're talking about that, can we move down a little bit? Down? No? All right, so let's identify, the other thing is, when we're talking about limiting beliefs, you have to be able to identify your self-sabotaging thought patterns. So part of those limiting beliefs is what you believe. And sometimes we're not even conscious of the thoughts that we think, but they can be self-sabotaging thoughts. And then how we shift how do you think, right? So how can we shift from I don't deserve love or I want love and deserve it, but your thoughts are sabotaging you, so you're not attracting the love that you really want. So let us ask, what is one of the things that you believe about relationships you think might be holding you back, or might be
Hindering.
you into why you're not getting
Growing.
the love that you want and need?
And if it's holding you back, then you're not growing. If you're not growing, you're not expressing love. Your relationship is not flourishing. You're just kind of just stuck and sputtering and not going anywhere.
And so tonight's episode is all about why am I not getting the love I want and need? And so if we're touching on these things, it's because deep down inside, you may not really believe you deserve it, or because of something that has happened in the past, you are subconsciously attracting to you that same type of behavior before, even though you didn't want it or like it, right? Things that show you that you're unloved or unworthy or things like that. And then we think self-sabotaging thoughts. So let us hear from you. In the meantime, in our book, Manifest a Joy-Filled Relationship, it breaks down the limiting beliefs and unhealthy patterns that we create in our love lives, which relates to the Manifest method, which we just told you about. MANIFEST, right? Which is mindset, awareness, nurture, intention, focus, empower, strengthen, and transform. And these relates to mindset or shifting your mindset when we're talking about how to break those limiting beliefs. So what is mindset? So tonight we want to discuss this episode with you. We want you to engage with us. We want you to tell us what are some limiting beliefs that you may have had. What is mindset? What is self-sabotaging thoughts and patterns? We want to hear from you.
Yeah, because things just don't happen. I mean, things show up in your relationship. You're like, well, where did this come from? This is nothing like I dreamt it to be or anything like that, but it's showing up. Why is it showing up? Why are you unhappy? Why aren't you having the love and the passion or whatever in your relationship that you so dreamed of, right? So it's something inside of you that's causing this. So, and I know I may get some pushback on that because a lot of people say, it's not me, it's the other person. It's this situation, it's that situation. We'll get deeper, we'll get deeper into that at some other time. But for now, just understand that it has a lot to do with what's going on internally.
And for you who may not know, what goes on in the inside of us comes out on the outside. So the experiences that you are experiencing are not just experiences out of the blue. They're something that your soul or you are attracting through your thinking process, right? Either self-sabotaging thoughts, whether it's the belief of what someone else has told you in the past from previous relationships, or even the relationship that you have now.
Right.
Things that may have, we have a tendency to argue with one another and say things that we really don't mean or hurtful. And then we carry that around and the person may apologize, but that's still there, right? The damage is already done or they've already planted that seed. And so we walk around with that seed, not realizing that every now and then we water it and it's growing.
Ooh, and sometimes we have resentment for settling, right? It's like, I'm here, I wanted to leave at one time, or I wanted a better relationship and it's not better, and now you feel like you're settling. Don't have that type of attitude. Have the type of attitude that says, hey, I'm here now, and I'm gonna make the best out of it. I'm gonna give you the best that I have in this relationship, and that's the only way to make it better.
All right, so shout out. I see that Mia Miller gave us a thumbs up.
All right.
What else do you see, Jay?
Let me say, hey, I'm here. All right.
All right, Mia, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Tonight we're talking about why am I not getting the love that I want and need? And so let us continue on.
Well, let me ask a question. What's the one belief about your relationship you think might be holding you back?
Holding you back from getting the love you want and need.
Exactly.
So what might be that one thing? Because we're talking about
now,
your
we don't
belief.
want the whole gamut, right? We don't want you to say everything, but it is one particular thing that
sometimes
that's a
you
belief.
think and feel. It becomes your belief because that's what a belief is. You just keep thinking it and feeling it.
Right, and then it becomes true
to you.
because you think it for so long.
Right.
And then you start acting on it.
And so the first reason was because we think that we don't, deep down inside, we don't deserve it.
Right.
Because of of the relationship that we've created or because of our past history with other people. And so that's one reason. Another reason is because a lot of people struggle to get with what they need and want because their relationship lacks emotional intimacy.
Oh, for sure.
And we always talk about that,
Yes,
right?
we do.
Emotional intimacy. And so
AKA love tank.
or we could even ask, what is intimacy to you? Right? So we expect
You want me to know? Want me to tell you? No.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
no, I don't want you to tell
Okay.
me
All
your
right.
definition of intimacy. So the reason why they do this because they expect their partner to just know what they need without actually ever expressing it to them. They think they're expressing it, but it's not being received because of the inabilities to communicate effectively with your and without that emotional connection, your needs are being unmet. So if we can't communicate it effectively, our partner is not receiving it effectively. And so therefore, we continue to think those thoughts that, wow, this is just about emotional intimacy. I'm not getting what I want. I'm unloved. They don't, whatever those thoughts are that you constantly thinking.
So, ineffective communication.
Right.
So
we want to know what the joke was.
Right. So it was all in my head, right?
I know,
So
obviously.
ineffective communication is like playing catch with yourself.
So you thought you wanted you
Right. And then you
so
got to run down and catch your own ball and then throw it back to yourself.
That's ineffective
That's
communication.
ineffective communication.
So
and that's
you're tossing the ball, but your mate is not.
nowhere.
So you got to
in-
run down.
Right.
it.
I don't understand what's going on. I don't know
Right.
why you're throwing it over there. You're not even in my, just not even throwing it in the area
Playing
where I
catch
can
by
catch.
yourself. Playing
Like
catch
that.
by. Okay.
Exactly. And that's why I kind of laughed because it was
Okay.
the thought came to me in my head. So when there's no emotional intimacy,
When you
partners
playing catch, right? When you
Yeah.
playing catch by yourself.
That's exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There's no emotional intimacy. Partners operate in survival mode. Just I got to go wherever the ball is. Like what's going on here? Focusing on problems and not connection.
That's
So
right.
What emotional? It said what emotional intimacy really means beyond just talking. Because a lot of times we'll say emotional intimacy is like talking, right? I want you to hear me. I want you to understand.
I
me.
want you to listen.
I want you to listen.
So-
So it's much deeper than just listening. It all depends on your mate and how they actually feel and what it means to them. For many people, it could be the fear of vulnerability, right?
That's true.
Some people just can't be vulnerable because that shows a weakness.
And so when that inability to be vulnerable creates that distance, that's where we need to really focus on emotional intimacy. So that's why Jason and I, we know that over and over again, we see that couples are not emotionally connected,
Nope.
right? So they may be living together, they're still married, they still love each other, but they're not emotionally connected. So that's why we created the 20 emotional intimacy essential questions. So you and your partner can start building genuine connections. So we want you to go and grab your copy at legendaryrelationship.com/EI. So go there right now. Jason's going to tell you where. So go ahead, Jay, give us a show them thing. So what we did is we created, because people don't really understand how to connect, we created 20 questions to help you and your partner start the ball, playing catch with each other,
Yes, right.
with each other and not by
Playing catch.
yourself.
So it's-
Playing catch.
Yep. So it's 20 questions, emotional intimacy, showing you or just starting the conversation, right?
How to rebuild.
How to actually
Yeah.
have this conversation. And I think we have a couple of
Questions.
Question, right?
So let's see one of the questions. So one of the questions that you could ask your partner, or your partner may ask you, or you can ask each other, is what's something you wish I understood better about your emotional needs? So I would turn to Jason and say, what's something you wish I understood better
Right.
about your emotional needs?
Right.
So that's a conversation starter. That's just one of the 20 questions that starts the ball rolling about really understanding each other and really what it means to start building your emotional intimacy again. Because if we're not connected, regardless if we're having sex or not having sex, if we're not emotionally connected, then really, what is our relationship doing? What is the whole point? because we're supposed to be connected, right? Mind, body, and soul.
That's right.
So this brings us into the awareness part of our manifest framework. So MANIFEST, the manifest framework. And so this goes under the A, being aware of what your partner needs, and your partner being aware of what you need, being able to effectively communicate that and not having to play toss by yourself.
It's tough playing catch by yourself.
Talk, catch, whatever.
Yeah,
All
that's
right, so
right.
let's show that.
All right.
All right. Can you? I can't read it. So I need you to pull it up.
All right.
How about the limited thoughts that there are no good men out there, or that there is
a
a shortage of good men?
And that can go
or
either way.
I was going to say,
Or
or
vice
vice versa,
versa.
or no good women. Exactly. Good question. Thank you, Nancy. So when we're talking about limiting beliefs, we're talking about, okay, I'm single, I'm ready, God knows my heart, but there's no good women out there, or there's no good men out there. Why haven't I attracted them? So we have to understand, if we're not attracting yet what we want, or we keep attracting the same thing, we have to look inside, guys. It's not outside. It has nothing to do with what we believe is limited. It's only the limitations that we have within ourselves. All right, let's go to the next question. All right. So thank you.
Charles.
Thank you, Charles. Happy Valentine's
Times
Day.
Day.
You all look great as always.
Well,
thank you,
thank you so
Charles.
much.
I'm sure you look great, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy your Valentine's Day however you plan to spend it.
Yes.
And we just want to thank you guys for being on with us tonight and sharing this
Just a little
time
bit
with
of
us.
time. this quiet time here with us.
That's right. So we're talking about, why am I not getting what I want and need? And so we talked about reason number one. It could be because deep down inside you really don't believe it. And you may not believe that you don't believe that, but you might have to do some soul searching.
Yep.
And that's why we say that elevation takes honesty. You have to peel back the layers of all of the years. If you're over 25 or over 30, you have some experiences that may have wounded you. And what happens is that when we get wounded, the whole heart thing, the whole mind thing, the whole thought process changes, and it changes us. It actually, that's scientific. It changes everything about us. And so if we haven't done the work to figure out what's going on, we're going to keep experiencing the same thing. And then the second reason was because what was the second reason?
I'm not sure what the
I'm
second.
talking so much.
Yep.
The second reason was because of emotional.
Oh wait.
Can I say
Yep.
this? Thank you. Was both because of emotional disconnection. And so you
Okay.
have to have that emotional connection. So we have to have that emotional intimacy. All right. So how is emotional intimacy done, Jason? What you want to tell them?
Well, this is not done
Okay.
by focusing on, your wrong needs, or chasing surface level needs instead of deep fulfillment. Sometimes we think we're not getting what we want, but really we're getting what we focus on. And sometimes we focus on the wrong things.
Okay.
So we don't want that showing up, but this is what we're focusing on. We must realize the difference between wants and needs.
That's another thing. So
That's it.
sometimes we focus on the wrong needs instead of the right needs. So we have to stop looking outside of ourselves.
There you
So
go.
instead of chasing the perfect love, right? We look on social media and we go, oh,
And
I
that's
want
even
that.
fake.
Or we read a book, or we see a love story and we go, oh, I want that perfect love. So focus on creating a solid emotional foundation with your partner, or the one you're attracting. So you can't put on those masks, guys. When we're attracting these mates and you're trying to find that person, you can't be showing up somebody different. You have to show up as yourself, because that's who you really are. So make sure that you have you clearly communicate what you want, and you have a self-awareness of it. These are the keys to having or building a solid emotional foundation. All right. So we have to be, we can't be afraid to.
You can say that again. You cannot be afraid.
Yes,
You cannot be afraid.
right. We cannot be afraid
No.
to do something different. Like
You have to be intentional about it. right?
you have to. So we have to be intentional when we're creating these relationship and our relationship goals. So if
Yeah.
I want my needs to be met,
Yep.
and I want my wants to be met as well,
Okay.
we're going to realize that it's actually going to take some work.
And know
Okay.
what your wants and needs are. and they may be different, right? But know what they are, because here it is.
And that's what I meant about being clear.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying
yeah,
it can't be a moving target. It can't be, I want this today, and
That's
then
true.
tomorrow
right.
I do it, and he's like, I don't want that anymore.
Or
right?
you talk to your girlfriend and they say this, and you go, you know what? Yeah, I want that. So I'm
right. And you use the moving target.
Exactly. So when we're talking about don't chase that perfect love, because there's no
Yeah.
such thing. Everyone needs something different.
Right.
As I always say, there's no one size fits all.
Definitely
So
not.
if what you're doing is not working, you have to stop doing it and think about doing something else, right? Because if we keep doing the same thing, expecting something different, we know that to be
True. Or
insanity.
Well, it's going to be true in a sense.
Well, it's insanity if you keep
Right.
doing the same thing, hoping for something different. Nothing different is going to happen because you
Because you
keep
could be doing
the
that same thing, and you're going to keep hoping for something different.
And so we have to understand. So let's be intentional. Let's be clear. Let's be able to communicate that. So when we are trying to attract that mate first, let's make sure we know what we want and need before we even get into a relationship.
Ooh.
Let us stop letting somebody else define what we think we want. So we find somebody and, oh, we're so happy. And then a year later or a few months later, we realize this isn't the person. That's because you haven't set your boundaries and you weren't clear up front about what you wanted in the relationship.
So let me ask him a question.
All right, ask him a
right.
question.
What do you truly need from your relationship? Yeah, share in the comments.
So that's for you guys.
Yeah, what do you truly need from your relationship?
What do you need? What do I need? So I'm going to sit back and I'll say, what do I need from my relationship? Need, N-E-E-D. Not what do I want, because that's a little bit different. So we have to understand that first, like Jason said, the difference between wants and needs. And then what do I need from my relationship? Not what everybody else is getting, not what I think that I should need, but what do I actually need? What do I need from my relationship that makes me feel loved, appreciated, wanted, a part of it, emotionally connected? What do I need?
No, I was going to say that. Also, don't forget that if you need this, you need to show up as it. You just can't say, I need this, and I'm not willing to do anything to actually get it.
I'm looking for somebody else to
Right. You still have to
And then-
show up to be it in order to have it.
And I think part of that need is understanding, like you said, how do I need to be in my relationship so that I can have the needs that I need met? A lot of needs in there, boy. A
Yeah.
lot of needs. Don't get lost in those needs.
And the me needs.
So, all right. So to make sure that you are getting what you need and what you want from your relationship, or from the one that you're trying to get in the future, the one you're trying to attract, be clear
Something
on
you're trying to manifest.
There
here?
you go.
All right, trying to manifest it.
Again, we can't say it. Make sure that you're clear on what you want and how to ask for it.
Oh, say that again, boy. You be clear on what you want and what you ask for, because if
No,
you ask for,
not what you ask for. Be clear on what you want and how to ask for it.
Okay.
But,
See,
but where
that's why you need
were-
to be clear.
Right. So, but where you were going was good too. Right. So you have to be clear on what you want. And once you're clear on what you want, you have to know how to effectively communicate that to your mate, so that you're
There you
not
go.
playing catch by yourself. So that when you actually tell your mate what you need, and when your mate tells you what they need, that is,
I won't
you're
say
not
tell,
in a
I'll say
battle.
express.
Express.
I'll say
Well, you
express.
have to tell people.
I understand,
either
but,
way, Yeah.
I like to be expressive. So I like to express. I know it's the same thing as telling, but I don't want to tell you what I
So-
want. I would rather express what I would like to
Well, I didn't mean.
have. I know that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So when Jason expresses to me what he needs in our
Doesn't
relationship,
that sound even better?
no, because I like to tell you, because I don't.
I know
want
you do.
don't
That's
want-
but
I
I
don't-
like to express. I know
I don't
exactly
want
what you're saying.
I don't want you to get it confused.
I
don't want
understand.
the ball to go past over there. You be
Right.
like, oh, excuse me.
Right.
I don't want the ball to get past you.
And I'm
and then
expressing.
you're chasing it.
Dear, I'm right here. Just
Right.
expressing.
And so whatever it is, we need to make sure that we can say it. We can say it clearly, whether we are expressing it or whether we are telling our mate. But we have to make sure that we're setting boundaries in the process, and that the standards for yourself and what you want in your relationship, your non-negotiables. We talk about it all the time.
We don't negotiate.
Don't negotiate your non-negotiables, which means that there are certain things that we need in life, right? We talk at the hierarchy of needs, right? So there are certain needs that need to be met. It's the
Man's
same thing in your relationship. It's the same thing in your relationship. So just make sure that you are being able to express it to yourself
Yeah.
and able to express it to your mate.
I love that word. See, express.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So we're gonna start expressing
so
and not
what about
talking.
you guys? So what about you guys? What do you think? So we want you to engage with us. So when we're talking about your needs needing to be met, what do you think? What do you think? Do you think it's important for you to be able to express that to your mate, or that your mate is supposed to read your mind and know what you want?
I don't know. Hey, check this out.
All right.
More?
Can you get off it? Okay, thank you. Oh, hello, Bobby.
Hey,
Bobby
Bobby.
Richard Moore. All
Hey,
right,
hey,
Moore's
guys, how are-
checking in. All right, thank
Welcome
you for
and happy Valentine's Day. to
welcome
you
and
guys.
happy Valentine's Day. And I put on my juicy red lipstick so you guys, so you guys can kiss out to Bobby Richard Moore. All right. So guys, what do you think? Let's have a genuine conversation. Do you think that it is important? Because actually, we do sit around and we pout, or we assume that our mate knows what we want and what we need,
Or I'm going to say, that is a form of expressing, but I don't think that's going to convey the response that you want. But that is expressing, pouting and having an attitude and things of that nature.
or we communicate it, but not in a way that they can hear it. So again, understanding how a person communicates, being able to understand, okay, I'm saying it this way, and they never hear me or receive it. So then there's a breakdown in communication.
Right,
So
right.
when you toss that ball,
Right.
it's not being caught on the other side.
For sure.
But then we have to understand, what is our mates? How do they communicate? How do they effectively understand what I'm saying? How do I effectively communicate that to them? So there's so many different dynamics when it goes into, why am I not getting what I want and need? Why are the lines of communication a little clogged, right? Either I'm not understanding them or they're not understanding me.
Yep. It's a misunderstanding. A little deflection in the middle of the pad.
Could be.
I'm sorry, expression.
All right.
All right. So you and your partner can have that conversation. And actually, if you have that conversation, expression, or if you can express that to your mate, it can lead to some change.
It can lead to change.
Yeah. And I know a good way to start that ball rolling or
How
start
would-
that expression of love
How would you do that?
with that 20 emotional intimacy questions that we have. This thing is a conversation starter, right? Because there's some questions in there that really digs deep, right? It's not so much of a surface level answer like, why do you love me, or what can we do to make the relationship better? It's a little bit deeper than that.
Or why we say it can start the conversations, because sometimes we get so far in relationships, that we forget those genuine questions from years ago. Like we didn't ask, right? So bring that question back up real quick, Jason.
Okay.
Bobby, you got to put the comment back up there when you go back.
Okay.
So this was the question. So when Jason and I are not effectively communicating to one another, or I feel as though he's not understanding my needs, then I can ask him this question. So this is one of the questions. So I would turn to Jason and say, what's something you wish I understood better about your emotional needs? Because everyone has emotional needs.
Correct.
And men don't always express their needs.
I'll take
It's
that for
not
now.
always about sex. They do want the sex and the sex. And so when we talk about emotional intimacy, again, we have to define what intimacy, but we're talking about the intimacy where you're connected.
Okay.
Along with the sex.
I'm going to
Because
say,
if you're not,
definitely don't forget the sex.
because
Okay.
if you're, as we stated before, if you're not having sex, that's an indication that emotional intimacy has broken down.
Yeah,
Like
somebody
something
that
on my eye.
fumbled the ball, for sure. If you're not having sex, you didn't fumble the ball.
Right. And so did you bring up Bobby?
Oh,
Bring up
Bob.
Bobby's little comment. Thank you, Bobby. Kiss back out to you. So, guys, Jason, can you bring up where they can find that emotional intimacy free download? It's 20 questions that you and your partner, actually, you can download it today
Yep.
and get the questions rolling. No, the website where they can go and get it.
There it is right there.
Oh, okay, down at the bottom.
Yep.
It is legendaryrelationship.com/EI. And that's for emotional intimacy. Go get the 20 questions, light the candles, get the dinner out, or even if you're going out, download it onto your phone,
Yep.
bring those questions and start having intimate conversations. Let's start building the bridge back of emotional intimacy. All right, Jace, let's keep it going. Let's keep it rolling.
All right, baby. All right, we got it going here. Ooh.
All right, let's see what Charles said. And I'm going to need you to take it off so I can read it. There you go. I need support, loyalty, respect, trust, appreciation, and freedom to simply be myself. The thing I appreciate most about my mate is that she allows me to be myself, and she never interferes with my pursuit of my personal ambitions, and goals. Intimacy is not an issue in our relationship. That is wonderful. I hope communication is not either. So I want to keep Charles's comment up real quick.
Sure.
So what, everybody else, I want you to comment in on Charles's comment.
Yeah. And
So-
thank you for the comment, Charles. We really appreciate
So we
that.
asked Charles, what do you need? Do you know what you need in your relationship? And if you're not clear in it, you can't effectively communicate. And I'm looking over there because I'm reading it from over there, guys. But you cannot effectively communicate that to your mate if you don't know.
And it looks like he's pretty clear about what he wants in his relationship.
And so Charles says he appreciates most that she allows me to be myself. But in order for her to allow Charles to be himself, he has to show up what?
That's himself.
As himself.
Yep.
If he shows up anything other than Charles, then he's not allowing Charles to be himself. And that's what we're talking about when we're pretending to be something else in our relationship that we're not.
Right.
Whether it's doing things that we don't want to do, saying things that we don't want to say, or not saying things that we really feel and not being able to effectively communicate that to our mate. That means we're not being authentic in our relationship. Because if I'm feeling a certain way about something and I'm not communicating that to my mate, that means I'm not showing up as myself.
Exactly.
So not saying things is just as bad as not effectively communicating that when you do say it.
Right.
All right, so you guys chime in on what you may think about Charles. Thank you, Charles, for your comments. Let's get into the third point about
That's the third point. We already hit them all.
we're going to go up to the top and see about, yep. All right, so don't forget your 20 questions. Download it, start the conversation, see where you might not know as much about your mate as you thought, or to find out something new. So see how many, and there's a checklist on the side, so see how many you get. Like, really don't, and I always say, don't.
And there's no right and wrong answers.
No,
but
because you're getting to know the person.
Exactly, because you're getting to know the person. And here's the thing. Sometimes people don't have a problem telling you the answers to the questions. You just never ask the questions.
That's true. Well,
So-
how come you never told me that?
Because you never asked.
You never asked, or it never came up. Sometimes
Right.
we start relationships and they just
And a lot of
take
things
on the
that
role of
don't come up is
themselves.
our past. Our past don't come up, right? Our childhood.
Well, I know for sure someone told me when they start dating their husband that their husband said, your past doesn't matter.
Your past doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
but whoever you dated, whatever you did.
No, I'm not talking about that past. I'm talking about a lot of things that formed who you are now in adulthood.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't
Okay.
have to know all the gory
Okay.
details about your past relationships.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is I do need to know what shaped you as a child into
Okay,
this.
I caught the ball. See? Because at
And
first
it's
you
real.
said your past, and then you were playing catch by yourself.
Oh,
so now
then I ran down there and I caught it, and then I threw it back, and I caught it again, then I tossed it to you. I got what you said.
Right. But I figured out what you said. So you're
Gotcha.
so helping people understand what shaped your past.
Yes.
Right. So what shaped your past? That's what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So are there any other comments, guys? We definitely. Do you have anything for Valentine's Day?
I do.
Okay.
I do. We want to just tell everyone Happy Valentine's Day. And guys, go out and express love, right? This is the month of love. Express love, be love, have love. Just show up lovingly everywhere you are. And from us here,
Happy Valentine's Day. And it's not just the day, but it's the month of love. Let us express
Show up.
love. Yes, show up, talk, be, and move like love. Let's see the likes that we got. We got some loves up there. Let's see. Let's shout them out. Oh, all right. Charles gave us one.
yeah.
All right.
Sandra.
Oh, Sandra. Hey,
Hey.
Sandra, thank you. Welcome. If
Yeah.
you're still in with us, we thank you guys so much for joining us today on this wonderful Valentine's Day, this chilly Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's all right.
I
We'll
spoke with
get
my
it warm.
sister, and she said it was 80 where she was at in Florida.
Okay. Yeah, how
All right.
wonderful. We'll be down there soon.
All right. Another thing we want you to know is that if you guys have not grabbed your book, Manifest a Joy-Filled Relationship,
Yes.
what do we want them to do, Jason?
We definitely want them to grab that, right? We don't want you to get away without getting your book. And why not? Because it's an excellent read and you'll learn a lot about universal principles.
Go to manifestajoyfilledrelationship.com to get your copy.
Start transforming yourself and your relationship today. All right, so don't forget to get your copy. Where? At manifestajoyfilledrelationship.com, or you could just go to legendaryrelationship.com.
All right. Also, don't forget what don't you want them to forget about after the book?
Oh, the review.
Okay.
Yes, don't forget to give us a review on the book. All of my wonderful community members that have purchased the book, please give us a review.
So the importance of a review. So the other thing is, if you're on our page on YouTube, go and subscribe if you're not, and leave a review about the podcast. Also, go to Amazon and leave a review about Manifest a Joy-Filled Relationship if you already have it. That is an essential part of being an author, and especially a best-selling author. So we appreciate you guys giving us all the accolades.
Yep.
You know, when you see us and you send us emails, but we need for you, which we didn't understand until now, we're authors, but we need for you to put those reviews on Amazon. So go to Amazon and leave a review for Manifest a Joy-Filled Relationship. And if you don't know how, figure it out. Go to Amazon, go into Manifest a Joy-Filled Relationship, click on review, and leave us a review. Please leave a review for Manifest a Joy-Filled Relationship.
Yep, we would greatly appreciate it.
All right. Are there any other questions, comments?
Let's see. I don't see any questions. You got a question? What would you like to leave the people with?
I don't want to leave them with anything. So until next time, we're gonna get on out of here and keep it moving. So we definitely want you to head over to our website at legendaryrelationship.com, and we want you to make sure that you leave a review, or go download the 20 intimate emotional intimacy
questions.
Essential emotional intimacy questions.
Yep.
That's at legendaryrelationship.com /EI. All right?
All right, hold up. We got one more before we get about it.
All right, Charles said, thank you for sharing your knowledge and experience, and for being such a wonderful model for us to live by. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you so much, Charles. We really appreciate that.
Yes, we thank you so much, and same to you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So we appreciate all of the comments tonight. Again, we want to say, can you close us out? We want to make sure that you are tuning in next Friday. We will be back next Friday. Did you have something? We will be back next Friday. Same time, same place. But right now, we're going to get out of here. So until next time, remember that love is a choice, not by chance. You can build it. Don't settle on anything. Don't settle. We don't have to settle anymore for mediocrity. We have the right tools and the techniques and Manifest a Joy-Filled Relationship, as well as this podcast, Love and Beyond the I Do, for all individuals who are looking to make their relationships better, stronger, or attract the ones we want, or to change the ones we have.
I love it. Hey, hit follow and subscribe right here, and then don't miss another episode. All right, this is a live show, live conversations. Is also we have a pre-recorded version of the podcast as well, so you get this wherever you get your podcast delivered. We appreciate you as well. So also on the podcast app, hit subscribe. We really appreciate you. Let's keep the conversation going, and just let us know what you think. We really appreciate it.
So we asked several questions throughout the podcast. Go back up, rewind, and then answer those questions. And guys, don't be intimidated by your friends looking or listening. All right?
Answer for a friend.
Answer for a friend, or ask for a friend. Either way. So make sure that you are tuning in so that you can join the conversation. That's the whole purpose of it.
Yeah, it's a judgment-free zone, right? We're just here to have fun and have conversations. We know you're not asking for yourself. It's asking for a friend. And who doesn't want to help out a friend?
All right. You need this? Oh, my bad. Okay.
You are so funny.
All right. As Jason and I always say.
Hold on.
Got another comment?
Yeah.
All right. Have a great weekend. You too, Charles. Thank you so much. Everybody
Everyone
enjoy their weekend.
And have a great Valentine's Day as well.
Yes, and if you're cold, stay warm. And if you're warm, stay cold. All right? Is there anything else?
I think that is it, my sweetie.
All right. So as always, remember to tune in, and we are the dynamic duo in relationships. And as always,
we're in it to win it.
Happy Valentine's Day, guys.
Till next week, guys. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Lovin' Beyond the I Do podcast. Head over to iTunes to subscribe and leave a review. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Legendary Relationship, or visit our website at legendaryrelationship.com. Till next time, remember to make every day count.